your vision gets worse, your memory gets foggier, and you think it's just aging. But what if I told you the real reason is happening every single night while you sleep? I'm Dr. William. Most people believe that vision loss and memory decline are inevitable parts of aging. The cells wear down, the brain slows. It's presented as pure biology you cannot control. But this is completely wrong. The science from 2025 and 2026 shows us something radically different. Vision loss and memory decline are not inevitable consequences of aging. They are the result of incomplete cellular repair happening night after night, week after week, year after year. And here is the shocking truth. 3 simple dried fruits, foods you can find in any grocery store, contain exactly the compounds your brain and retina need to repair themselves completely during sleep. Here is what happens when you close your eyes at night. Your brain does not rest. It activates something called the glymphatic system, an internal plumbing network flowing through your entire brain. During the day, your brain accumulates waste products. Damaged proteins build up. Beta amyloid, the protein strongly linked to Alzheimer's disease, gets deposited between your neurons. Your brain just keeps working, creating more and more cellular debris. But at night, something remarkable happens. Your glymphatic system activates. The spaces between your brain cells expand by about 60%. Cerebrospinal fluid floods through these expanded spaces like a cleaning tide. It washes over every neuron. It flushes out damaged proteins and toxic waste. By morning, your brain has been cleaned and refreshed. At the exact same time, something equally important happens in your eyes. The retina goes into overdrive regeneration mode. All day long, your retina gets pounded by light, especially harsh blue light from screens and digital devices. This creates oxidative stress, which is like cellular rust forming on your photoreceptor cells. These are the cells that allow you to see colors and fine details. They get damaged constantly throughout the day. But during sleep, your retina launches a repair program. It starts rebuilding damaged cells. It restocks them with new proteins and structural components. It regenerates the light-sensing machinery that got worn down during the day. However, both of these processes, the brain's glymphatic cleanup and the retina's cellular regeneration, require specific nutrients. They need raw materials. They need fuel. Imagine hiring a construction crew to renovate your house overnight. They arrive at sunset, ready to work. But when they look inside, there is no lumber, no steel beams, no cement, no tools, no materials at all. The workers just stand around looking at each other. They cannot do anything without raw materials. That is exactly what happens in your brain and eyes when you do not have the right nutrients before sleep. Your glymphatic system activates, but there is no fuel for optimal function. Your retina tries to regenerate, but the building blocks are not available. Repair happens partially. Regeneration happens partially. Night after night, this incomplete repair adds up. After months and years, the accumulation of unrepaired damage becomes significant. Your memory weakens. Your vision blurs. Your thinking slows down. Your overall cognitive capacity declines. The game-changing discovery is that 3 specific dried fruits contain concentrated doses of exactly the nutrients your brain and retina are designed to use during nighttime repair. Recent research shows that when you eat these 3 dried fruits before bed, you dramatically increase the efficiency of overnight repair. Your cells can complete the job they started. Your glymphatic system works more effectively. Your retinal cells regenerate more completely. Your memory consolidates more reliably. The first dried fruit is the almond. Most people think of almonds as just a healthy snack or a good source of protein, but almonds contain vitamin E in extraordinary concentrations. Vitamin E is a fat-soluble antioxidant, which means it works specifically in fatty tissues. Your brain is approximately 60% fat. Your retina is also primarily composed of fatty tissue. This is why vitamin E is so important for both organs. Vitamin E acts like a protective shield, coating the cell membranes of your brain and retinal cells. Every time a free radical tries to damage the fats in your cells, vitamin E intercepts the attack. It donates an electron to the free radical, neutralizing it before damage occurs. And here is the sophisticated part that most people do not understand. After vitamin E donates its electron, it does not get destroyed or depleted. It gets recycled by other antioxidants in your body. So a single vitamin E molecule can neutralize multiple free radicals. It is like a martial arts master who defeats opponent after opponent without getting tired. But almonds do something even more powerful than antioxidant protection. The monounsaturated fats in almonds improve the flexibility and responsiveness of the tiny blood vessels that feed your brain and eyes. These capillaries are incredibly small, about 1/10 the width of a human hair. If these vessels become stiff and inflamed, blood flow slows dramatically. When blood flow slows, oxygen and nutrients cannot reach your brain and retinal cells efficiently. This is especially critical because your brain and retina are two of the most metabolically demanding tissues in your entire body. Your brain is only 2% of your body weight, yet it uses up to 20% of your total daily energy. Your retina is even more metabolically active than your brain when you measure energy consumption per unit of tissue. Both tissues need constant, reliable supplies of oxygen and glucose. The healthy monounsaturated fats in almonds keep your blood vessels supple and responsive. They allow blood to flow freely to exactly where it is needed most. This is especially important during nighttime repair when your brain and retina are working at maximum intensity. Research published in 2025 found something remarkable. People who consumed almonds regularly showed a 25% reduction in the rate of age-related macular degeneration progression compared to people who did not eat almonds. Another study found that people with higher vitamin E intake had significantly lower rates of cataracts and presbyopia. But here is the key insight that researchers emphasize repeatedly. The benefit was not from taking vitamin E supplements in pill form. It was specifically from eating whole almonds. Because whole almonds contain vitamin E plus all the cofactors and supporting compounds that make vitamin E work more effectively in your body. When you take a supplement, you get isolated vitamin E. When you eat an almond, you get vitamin E plus magnesium, phosphorus, polyphenols, and dozens of other compounds that support vitamin E and enhance its biological function. When you eat 6 to 8 soaked almonds before bed, you are not just getting vitamin E, you are getting a comprehensive nutritional intervention designed by millions of years of evolution. The soaking process is important because it deactivates enzyme inhibitors in the almond. It makes the vitamin E and minerals more bioavailable. It is like you are activating the almonds so that your body can absorb and use the nutrients more efficiently. After you eat these soaked almonds, your digestive system breaks them down over the next 30 to 45 minutes. The vitamin E and healthy fats get absorbed into your bloodstream. You lie down to sleep, your retina begins its nightly regeneration, and instead of this regeneration happening in an environment filled with free radicals and oxidative stress, your retinal cells are bathed in vitamin E. They are surrounded by plenty of healthy fats that support their function. The repair process becomes dramatically more efficient. Damaged photoreceptor cells get rebuilt stronger. New cells get generated. By morning, your retina wakes up more protected than it was yesterday. The second dried fruit is the walnut. If almonds are the protective shield for your eyes, then walnuts are the specialized fuel for your brain. And here is something interesting. A walnut actually looks like a tiny brain. It has 2 lobes, like your brain hemispheres. It has wrinkled texture, like your brain's cortex. This is not coincidence. Nature often leaves us clues. In this case, the resemblance is deeply symbolic of what walnuts actually do inside your brain. When you sleep, your brain does not just rest and recover passively. It actively consolidates your memories. All the experiences you had during the day, all the conversations, all the learning, all the information you processed, your brain takes all of this and integrates it into your long-term memory networks. This is called memory consolidation, and it is one of the most important functions your brain performs. This process only works effectively if your neurons have strong, flexible cell membranes. A neuron's cell membrane is made entirely of lipids, which are fats. The quality and composition of these fats directly determines whether electrical signals can flow between neurons smoothly and rapidly, or whether communication becomes sluggish and unreliable. This is where walnuts become absolutely essential for brain health. Walnuts contain extraordinarily high levels of alpha-linolenic acid, an omega-3 fatty acid that your body uses to build and maintain neural connections. When you consume walnuts, these omega-3s get incorporated directly into your neuronal cell membranes. They increase the fluidity of these membranes. They enhance the activity of ion channels, those molecular doors that allow electrical signals to flow between neurons. They reduce inflammatory signaling at the synapses, those critical connection points between brain cells. Think about your neurons as rooms in a large building and the synapses as the doorways connecting them. If the doorways are blocked, stiff, or too narrow, communication between rooms becomes slow and difficult. Information gets stuck in traffic. Your thinking becomes sluggish. Cognitive processing slows down. But if the doorways are clear, smooth, and flexible, information flows freely. Conversations happen at lightning speed. Work gets done efficiently. Walnuts unlock those doorways at a cellular level. The research on walnuts and cognition is remarkably compelling. A major study published in 2025 tracked over 3,000 older adults for several years and found that those with higher walnut consumption performed significantly better on tests of memory, processing speed, and attention. Another clinical trial used advanced brain imaging and found that people who consumed walnuts regularly showed more neural activity in regions associated with memory consolidation and cognitive control. This means their brains were working more efficiently, their neurons were communicating more effectively, their cognitive processing was enhanced. But walnuts do something even more sophisticated. They contain natural melatonin, the hormone that regulates your sleep-wake cycle. When you eat walnuts before bed, the melatonin they contain gently supports your body's natural melatonin production. It helps you ease into a deeper, more restorative sleep state. This is crucial because memory consolidation happens most effectively during the deepest phases of sleep, when your brain's electrical patterns shift into the slow, synchronized waves that characterize deep, non-REM sleep. If your sleep is shallow or fragmented, memory consolidation suffers. Your memories do not get integrated properly. But walnuts enhance sleep quality, which directly enhances memory consolidation. Your memories get integrated more thoroughly. Additionally, walnuts contain polyphenols and compounds called ellagic acid that cross the blood-brain barrier and accumulate specifically in your hippocampus. The hippocampus is the part of your brain most critical for memory formation and recall. These compounds reduce oxidative stress and inflammation in the hippocampus. They create an environment where new memories can be formed more easily and existing memories can be strengthened more effectively. When you eat 2 to 3 walnut halves before bed, you are essentially sending a signal to your brain. You are saying, we are about to consolidate today's experiences into long-term memory, and here is the omega-3 fuel you need to do that efficiently. Your brain receives these omega-3s. It incorporates them into your neuronal membranes. You enter your first deep sleep cycle, and memory consolidation becomes dramatically more effective. You wake up the next morning with yesterday's experiences more firmly integrated into your long-term memory. Your recall becomes sharper. Your ability to retrieve memories becomes faster. Your conversations become more fluid because information is more readily accessible. The third dried fruit is the raisin. Most people think of raisins as just dried grapes. They might even worry that raisins are just sugar and therefore unhealthy. But this thinking completely misses how raisins actually work in your body. Yes, raisins contain natural sugars. Specifically, they contain glucose and fructose, but these sugars are bundled together with dietary fiber. This bundling is absolutely critical because it completely changes how your body processes these sugars. When you eat a fresh grape, the sugar gets absorbed quickly into your bloodstream. Your blood sugar spikes sharply, then it crashes down hard. These blood sugar fluctuations are extremely stressful to your brain and eyes. When blood sugar crashes, your brain cells experience an energy crisis. Your neurons cannot function properly without glucose. When blood sugar spikes too high, it creates oxidative stress throughout your tissues. Both situations damage your neurons and retinal cells. But when you eat a raisin, something different happens. The fiber content in the raisin slows down sugar absorption dramatically. Instead of your blood sugar spiking high and then crashing low, you get a slow, steady release of glucose into your bloodstream over an extended period. This steady energy supply is absolutely crucial for your brain and eyes during sleep. Here's why this matters so much. While you are sleeping, your brain and retina do not shut down their metabolic machinery. They are actually running multiple energy-intensive repair programs simultaneously. Your brain's glymphatic system is working. Your retina is regenerating photoreceptor cells. Your hippocampus is consolidating memories. Your visual cortex is processing visual information. All of this requires steady, reliable energy. If your blood sugar crashes during the night, these repair processes stall. Your brain and retina cannot complete their work efficiently. The repair remains incomplete. But raisins prevent this by providing steady fuel throughout the night, so repair processes can run continuously. But there is another powerful reason raisins are so effective, and it is related to their polyphenols. Raisins are packed with specific polyphenols called quercetin and camphorol. These compounds are remarkably powerful antioxidants. In fact, research from 2025 shows that polyphenols from raisins are more bioavailable and more effective at crossing the blood-brain barrier than many isolated antioxidant supplements. These polyphenols neutralize free radicals throughout your brain and eyes. They prevent oxidative damage before it occurs. But they do not just stop there. They also activate signaling pathways inside your cells that upregulate your body's own antioxidant defenses. They trigger your cells to produce more of their own protective enzymes. When you eat 5 to 7 raisins before bed, you are providing your brain and eyes with 3 things simultaneously. You are providing steady energy to power through nighttime repair. You are providing powerful polyphenols to neutralize oxidative stress. You are providing compounds that support healthy blood vessel function throughout your body. Now here is where it gets really interesting. When you combine almonds, walnuts, and raisins into a single bedtime snack, they work together far more powerfully than any of them work separately. Your body does not repair equally at all hours of the night. There is a specific sequence. In the first hour after falling asleep, before you even enter deep sleep, your body releases surges of growth hormone. This hormone triggers anabolic processes throughout your body. Your bones get repaired, your muscles recover from the day's activity, your organs regenerate, so do your brain and retina. This is when structural repair happens most aggressively. A few hours into your sleep, you enter deep non-REM sleep, and this is when memory consolidation happens most intensely. Your brain's electrical patterns shift into the slow, synchronized waves we talked about earlier. Your retina is also busy during this phase, reorganizing its neural connections and integrating the visual information you accumulated during the day. When you combine these 3 dried fruits, you create a nutritional package that supports each of these phases sequentially and comprehensively. The almonds provide sustained vitamin E and healthy fats that protect against oxidative stress throughout the entire night. The walnuts deliver omega-3s that get incorporated into neuronal membranes, plus melatonin that supports sleep quality. The raisins provide the steady glucose release that ensures your brain and eyes have consistent energy throughout these multiple repair phases. Thank you for being here. I am Dr. William. Until next time, take care of that precious mind and those precious eyes.